नमस्कार, you all are watching पंजाब केसरी नवोदय टाइम्स। मैं हूं आपके साथ नमिता सचदेव और आज हमारे साथ इंडस्ट्री की एक बहुत ही sought after, बहुत ही gorgeous actress है and she's personally my favorite too. Yes, about Konkona Sen Sharma who is with us right now. Konkona,
thank you, Namita. So sweet. Thank you.
So Konkona, first of all, I want to tell you something about Mumbai Diaries. I've seen the trailer. It's so impactful and actually stick to the theme of the film. It's dark because the theme of the film is dark, totally fictional, but I just love it. Not much reveal, but very well made.
Thank you so much. We also saw it recently and it was just very exciting because it's such a high energy, kind of a very impactful, as you said, trailer.
So it doubles the excitement when it comes to like edge of the seat thriller and the character played by you, Konkona.
Yeah, because we shot it actually some time back, and when you're shooting it, उस time पता नहीं चलता है ना कि कैसा finally लगेगा, कैसे लगेगा, you don't know. So finally with the background score, the sound effects, the music, everything coming together, how it's going to look, you don't know. तो हमने भी first time देखा trailer, अभी तक show भी नहीं देखा है. तो it's quite, it's quite different from the experience of shooting it, because when you're in front of the camera, you don't know, how shoot is. You're just doing your little bits, and then finally how it comes together, it's quite something. We are also very excited and very proud.
Since it is a fictional series, as we have come to know, but God forbid, अगर ऐसा really हो जाए, तो वो भी इतना ही scary होगा, I think, जितना ये fiction में दिख रहा है.
100% Namita, even though it's a fictional series, it is kind of based on a true incident, even though it has been dramatized. But, as Mumbaikars, we have all lived through this. We have had these experiences. It's something that has been in our collective consciousness for the last, 12 years or more, So I think it has been very scary. God forbid it will never happen again. But yeah, it is very scary. But, I think that for us, one thing that has really stood out is that, these government hospitals, with these doctors and nurses and ward boys, the administrative staff, they are so passionate, they are so hardworking, and they are really the invisible force. These are the first responders. हमने तो दिखाया है कि ये time of crisis में है, but actually even normally in their regular everyday lives, they don't have the kind of infrastructure, they don't have the kind of support system that we require. So they are really our everyday heroes. We have shown them, of course, in extraordinary circumstances with the backdrop of 26/11, but even on a regular basis, they really don't have the kind of support that they need. So this has really been our salute and our tribute to them.
Yes, absolutely. And Konkona, I just want to ask you, when this role was offered to you, the Chitras role, what did you recall about the Mumbai Diaries, if I ask about, or the Mumbai Attacks that happened in 2008 and 2011, of course?
When originally 26/11 had happened, that time I was not in town, but I was outside Bombay and I came back and, it took you back to those few days right after the incident, the aftermath of that incident, and what the city was like. It was like there was a heaviness that had descended on the entire city, and we were united in our shock, disbelief, grief, of course, of that time. But you never really saw it from the inside. You never really saw it from the point of view of the doctors who are actually in that situation, who are the first responders, who are the frontline workers. And this is something which has become even more topical now because of COVID, because we have been suddenly become now more aware of how much the frontline workers have to go through, So that is something I never saw it from that perspective. That is something, thanks to the script, we got to see the inner workings of that hospital and how it is interacting with the police force, with the media, with the patients, with the inner lives of the doctors and the hospital staff.
Definitely, yes. But since you have played the frontline worker in the series, so I must ask you, what kind of added responsibility you felt playing the doctor on screen?
I usually don't look at it like that. Even when I have played a journalist in the past or a police officer I have played as well in the past, you cannot really look at it as this is all doctors, or this is all nurses, or this represents all police men, police officers. It's not like that, because these are individuals at the end of the day, and they each have their own individual unique story. Somebody may be battling with cancer, somebody else is battling with some domestic strife, somebody else is, having some other issues. And each person's morality is not the same, because then that is very unfair to the police force or to the hospital staff, because they are not all the same person. What we have tried to be very responsible about, and I think succeeded, is depicting the events of 26/11, even though it is not exactly as it happened, but depicting that in a responsible way, in a dignified way, in a respectful way towards everybody, whether it's the victims, the martyrs, the first responders, everybody.
Even I love the dialogues. They're so impactful. One dialogue is like, treat it as a human body and don't judge him with the character. So
That
I
is
just
so
want to ask you,
beautiful.
like, as a doctor, how much challenging it is to treat a human body as a body and not to invest emotions in that, since they are human beings.
Yeah. That is actually one of my favorite lines as well. And Nikhil Advani, who's the creator and the director of the series, he had said something very nice the other day in an interview, where he said that any emergency room in any hospital in the world, they will never ask you what your religion is. They will never ask you what your caste location is. They don't really, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're from the LGBTQ community, it's for them, it's a human body. And that, you feel sometimes that, oh, it's just, you're just a human body, but actually that is the most humanizing aspect of it, the humanity which has been brought into the show, that we're all equal. Actually, the doctors in the hospital, in the ER, will ask you, what is your blood group? It doesn't matter anything else. All these other identities don't matter. What is your blood group? What are your allergies? So to treat everybody equally, which doesn't happen in real life, but that is the job of the doctors. That is the oath they have taken. And I think that is a beautiful thing, actually.
Konkona, do you think this is the right time to release the series, as terrorism is one of the most debatable issue or topic at the moment?
I think it is fairly topical. I mean, this is something that we have been dealing with, I think, for the past few years, not just us, all over the world. There have been, incidents, one-off incidents like this. And these incidents have come from all sections of the world. It is particularly topical, I think, because the world is also united in dealing with COVID. So for the first time, we are also seeing, as I said, from what it is like from the point of view of the doctors, what they are dealing with. We expect them to be gods. And they are not. They are also broken individuals. I mean, we all are in different ways and to different degrees. They are also healing. They have their inner demons. They have their inner issues, Plus, they are dealing with all of this. So I think that is something which has been highlighted because of COVID particularly.
Definitely, yes. So how much gratifying was that for you to play a character like this of Chitra, which you have played in the series?
What I really liked about Chitra, of course, Chitra is also a fictional character. She's not based on a real person. But what I really liked about that is, many times I'm asked by journalists or whatever that, you are playing, you're known for playing women who are very strong or who have a lot of substance. But, in this character, what is beautiful is that she's very vulnerable. And her vulnerability in many ways is her strength. And she's somebody who from the get-go, she's not strong. She is also like, I mean, everybody initially is taken aback. You don't expect something like this to happen. But they rally together. And Chitra Das, my character, finds her strength. She is in extraordinary circumstances. She's a regular person, a regular human being, but she's put in extraordinary circumstances. And that is where your courage comes out, where you are scared, you are tense, you are stressed, but you are still doing what your duty is, and very often beyond your call of duty as well.
So any commonalities that Konkona finds in Chitra and Konkona as well in real life too? Chitra is fearless and Konkona is that I know.
No, I'm not fearless. I'm full of fears. And I think true bravery is when you can overcome your fears. If you're not scared to begin with, then, I mean, that's not even brave. You're like, oh, this is nothing. This is easy. I'll do it. That's not even bravery. But when you're actually scared and you still make the choice to be brave, it's always a choice. I think that is true strength. And I don't know if I have that, but that is what I hope, that is what I aspire to.
Definitely. So how much do you think you have justified to the character of Chitra?
I can't say that. You guys will have to watch and tell me. I mean, I have to also watch the series and see. The good thing is that, it's not on all my shoulders. We have a fantastic ensemble cast. And it was really a pleasure to work with all these actors. Many of them, I mean, I think most of them I'm working with for the first time. So, and they have really brought something special, each and every one of them.
So, Konkona, we have seen you playing so many varied characters in parallel cinema also, and now in commercial cinema, you're doing so well. So, what do you prefer most now, commercial or parallel cinema?
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I don't have any preference like that. I think they each have their own strengths and drawbacks, and I don't like to view it as what is just commercial, what is just parallel cinema, shows, whatever nowadays OTT. I really try to look at it from my character, like who I have to portray, what I have to portray. I like it, when my character is going through some transition. कि ये ऐसी थी, लेकिन because of these circumstances अब वो ऐसे हो गई है. I think that is beautiful growth. That we are not the same throughout our lives. That we're affected by our lives, and hopefully we can grow and change ourselves and improve ourselves and learn. And that I think is the most beautiful part of life, whether it's in real life or in cinema.
Definitely. अच्छा, हमें तो आपके सारे किरदार पसंद है जितने भी आपने अब तक निभाए हैं. If you have been asked to choose like any 3 of your character which are your favorite or best of the characters that you have played according to you, then which ones would you choose?
Oh my God, that's a very tough question. I've been working for so long. It's very hard to choose. I think definitely Mr. and Mrs. Iyer is one of my, because it was very early, so very formative years of my career, and that has always stayed with me. It was very special working with my mother, winning a national award, working with Rahul Bose, making a film that is so meaningful, that has stood the test of time. Even today, I meet people, who have really connected with that film. I think another film I would like to mention, which I don't think many people have seen, is a film called 15 Park Avenue, again directed by my mother. Which is where I play the role of a schizophrenic person who's dealing with schizophrenia. So that is something very close to me also. And of late, if I have to choose something, I think I would choose Gili Pucci, which is from the anthology Ajib Dastan, because very unusual character. And I never thought that so late in my career I would actually get interesting roles like this,
Do you take advices from your mom when you choose your characters?
I do not always. Sometimes, I'm very sure about what I want to do. So not always, but sometimes, it's like, should I do this? There's some things you like about it, some things you don't like. So it's nice to be able to discuss that, with somebody who you trust, with somebody who understands, filmmaking, cinema, the industry, whatever. So that is a great blessing for me.
Definitely. Achha, if I ask about Chitra's character at the last, and what are your takeaways from Chitra's character in this series?
I feel like I've answered that question in a way, because Chitra is somebody who, she doesn't have that faith and confidence in herself to begin with, and that is so heartbreaking, because many times, many women don't have it. Maybe because of something they have gone through, maybe the way that, their own experiences, whether it's a bad relationship, whether it's some kind of abuse, whether it's the way our society is structured, that many women don't have that faith in themselves, which sometimes comes quite easily to men. So she's somebody who finds that strength within herself. She's somebody who underestimates herself to begin with, and then reaches a point where you can make her that she's truly a hero. Now, I wouldn't say I'm a hero, but what I take away is that, we should believe in ourselves.
Definitely, yes. But one thing that you think that needs to be changed to get this, like women, if I talk about women empowerment or getting women in place, that needs to be done in this society.
There are many things. It's hard to sum it up in just a few sentences. One important thing in this sphere, at least, is that there should be no gender pay gap, which there still is, in our industry, in other industries also. And that is a terrible thing, because, it's two human beings who are doing the same kind of work, and there should not exist any pay gap on the basis of gender. That is one thing, very important. The second thing I would say is that, having women should not be penalized by the workforce for having children. You know what happens is when a man has a child or a family, he's viewed as somebody who's responsible, as somebody who is capable, as somebody mature. But when a woman has a child, she's seen often as a liability. कि वो हो उसको तो मतलब अभी स्कूल पीटीए में जाना पड़ेगा उसको तो डॉक्टर के पास जाना पड़ेगी whatever like she has then that is seen as a liability. That is very unfair. I feel we should have a better support system for women with children, without children. I feel all women should be financially independent. That is a very important thing because that immediately gives you choices, on what you then, women should decide what they want to do. Whether they want to be homemaker, whether they want to go out and work, whatever, how they choose to dress, whatever, it's their lives. They must make their own choices. But we should support those choices.
And I think, Konkona, a film should be made on the pay disparity that is happening in every field, I think, between men and women, because cinema has always been impactful for the people living in society. What do you say?
Absolutely. I completely agree because there was a time, whatever, 50 years ago or whenever, in some cases, even now, where women maybe were not primary breadwinners for their families. But, today it's changed. There are so many women who are contributing not just financially. Even when a woman is a working woman, she's still taking care of the home. She's still taking care of the family. She still has a lot of, things she has to do, which maybe the expectations are not the same from a man. And I feel that we really need to support that. We need to help share the burden and we need to support that.
Definitely. And I think people who are watching this show, they'll get inspired from this one. Thank you so much, Konkona, for talking to us in Punjab Kesari Group.
Thank you so much, Namita.